Woo!
Wibwobbers, Robbett here. For so long, Springdale Data Sciences and the community of Wibwob players have talked about Yo-Kai Watch Puni Puni, the Japanese version of the game, that I finally had to try it for myself. This is the Pune Report, where we'll walk through what events are going on in Puni Puni so that we can get a glimpse of what we might see in Wibble Wobble sometime soon. Since Japan is about a year ahead of us in terms of Yo-Kai Watch 3DS games, there's a ton more content in Puni. Right now, there are two things going on. First, a special gacha, or Japan's Crankakai, has been added, the Oni Gacha. Here you can get all of the Onis, some of which we don't have, as well as a variety of other cool yokai like Shogunyan 3000 and some of the Awoken. The bigger news, however, is the Whisper Ohajiki event. Ohajiki is a game in Japan played with flat marbles similar perhaps to Tiddlywinks. The event is laid out in 3 maps, just like our events, and culminates in a battle with Wismellow Man. However, there's a hidden stage from Wismellow Man where 8-head-tall Whisper, an SS rank yokai, can be battled and befriended. 8-head-tall sounds strange, but it's a direct Japanese translation that says Whisper's body is 8 times taller than the height of his head. He's a tall guy. Along the way there are 4 Whisper, not including SS Whisper, that you can befriend or obtain. There's Whisper, Wispy, Wisbaba, and Sebastian. In addition, 2 new S-rank yokai have been added to the crank to help you fight SS Whisper. As you work your way through the event maps, periodically a minigame will pop up that you can play for 15 minutes. This is the Ohajiki portion where you flick yokai down a game board trying to avoid some areas and pick up yokai. The more yokai you pick up, the bigger your yokai becomes, and the faster it is going, the more points you score. The more you score, the more damage you do to Whisper, which is the goal of the minigame. Every time you damage Whisper, you gain points that you can spend on valuable items. Every time you knock out Whisper, you advance a level which increases the Ohajiki game the next time and unlocks additional items to buy. In addition, you can help your friends in the game by playing part of their games. The only difference is that you get friend points for that, which can be used on a much smaller list of items. Playing Ohajiki is difficult. The higher the level of the board, the more obstacles there are, including some very tight spaces you have to fit your yokai through. Every time you hit one of the purple arrows, not only does your yokai slow down, but half the yokai you collected are removed. Whatever you do, don't hit the purple arrows. It's worth noting that the yokai you use to play are important. The various Whisper yokai are all the most helpful, with Sebastian being the best. The level of the yokai also determines how much damage they do. Last Shogunyan and Edison also do extra damage. They're yokai that aren't yet available in Wibble Wobble. I just started playing Puni a week ago, so I don't have many powerful yokai yet. The game is the same as Wibble Wobble, just with more added on later in the game, and with new events. So imagine what it's like to start Wibble Wobble from scratch, and that's basically where I am. I've gotten enough Y money to do some cranks in the Oni Gacha, but I didn't get any of the really powerful guys. I did manage to get several of the yokai Bakerton, this floating skeleton, who is an attack booster which is quite helpful. In addition to the main gacha, which is like our Crankakai, and the special Oni Gacha for the event, Puni has an additional crank called the Dream Roulette. Unlike the Crankakai, the Dream Roulette costs more and you can't max it out. That is, you can always get yokai you already have, even if they're Soultimate level 7, but instead you'll get soul secrets for them. There are more powerful yokai in the Dream Roulette than the gacha, but the odds never change, so it's a bit more of a gamble. I've made quite a bit of money during the event and also gotten some Dream Roulette coins, so I've done maybe 20 cranks already. I've gotten some really good yokai, but none I was more excited for than getting a last Shogunyan pass. Last Shogunyan is a devastating single attacker that is one of the most powerful available in Puni. Not only do you have to pull his pass from the Dream Roulette, something I barely managed to do, but then you have to battle him to befriend him. The good news is that he only has around 8,000 hit points and he does around 200 damage, so the team I had was powerful enough to fight him. The bad news is you only get one chance to fight and befriend him per pass, so thankfully I made it count with some 4-heart food, and you would not believe the screams in the room as I beat and befriended him on the first try. I've since leveled him to 50 and raised his ultimate to level 3, and with my attack boosters he's doing 8,000 damage per ultimate. He is truly amazing and I couldn't be happier. The event goes on for a few more days, so I'll keep playing and see what I can do, but unfortunately 8-head tall Whisper is amazingly difficult to beat. Not only does he have 60,000 hit points, but he does 671 damage to you every time you fire a ultimate at him, as well as generally when attacking you. You also cannot use Brave or Eerie against him, which means I can't use Last Shogunyan. Also, no continues. He's that tough. This is in some ways similar to Puni's score attack, where they have implemented tribe restrictions week to week, so I can't use Last Shogunyan for score attack this week either. There are so many people playing score attack in Japan that the rewards go to 150,000th place. With my current basic yokai, however, I'm only in 208,000th place. I've got a lot of work to do. If you enjoy seeing what Puni is like, let me know in the comments and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitter. Thanks for watching and good luck with the crank, Gasha.